Never forget again. Here are some memory tricks for exam success. You are welcome back to our series on exam success. In this session, we are going to be focusing on something every student struggles with, and that is memory. Okay? How do you make sure that what you read today doesn't vanish by tomorrow? That it remains with you, even all the way to exam. I will show you in this video simple science-backed tricks that you can use, and they will help you to recall information instantly in examination hall. I want you to have that in mind. If you use them, you are going to recall information in examination hall quickly. All right? But first of all, let's acknowledge this challenge that it is there. The challenge of forgetting. We all have that challenge, right? For instance, have you read for hours? For hours, only for you to enter into the examination hall and discover that you are totally blank. The moment you saw the question, you went blank. Why is that? Why does that happen? The reason is not because you are dull. It is not because you are not smart. The reason is that the brain has a natural tendency to forget, and it is called the natural forgetting curve. The natural forgetting curve. Every person's brain has the tendency to forget things because of that natural forgetting curve. Without proper techniques, you will discover that 70% of what you read, you are going to lose them within 24 hours. And that's huge. This has been tested and proved, in science, because of that natural forgetting curve. All right? You can Google it and just Google it. Natural forgetting curve. If you Google it, you will see it. Everybody has that tendency to forget. All right? So, the solution to the problem is not in reading for long hours or reading, excessively. The solution to the problem is reading smart with the right memory tools. If you use the right memory tools, you are going to record things fast and, regularly, okay? As you're approaching your exams. So, in this particular video, I will show you five of them. I'll show you 5 memory tricks that if you use them, they will help you never to forget again. I'm telling you, they will help you if you use them. If you learn them and use them, they will help you. So I'm going to discuss mnemonics, storytelling and visualization, mind mapping, linking method, and loci. Those 5 I will be dealing with in this video. Maybe in subsequent videos, I might look at others. But in this particular video, to make it short, I'll just look at these 5. And if you use these 5, you can actually be on your way to grade A instead of grade C or grade B. All right? Here, let's go with the first one, mnemonics. Now, when we talk about mnemonics, we are talking about shortcuts. shortcuts that help us to remember things. All right? Things you want to remember. What you do is you create things that will help you to remember them. You associate them with things that will help you to remember them. So for mnemonics, one of the things you can do, and this is a very powerful tool, all right? You take things that are complex and then you turn them into something or things that are fun for you, things that you love. When you associate things that are difficult for you with things that you love, you discover that you begin to love those things and then you begin to also remember them. Things you love, you always recall easily, right? So turn things into fun and make them easy for yourself. Take complex subjects, complex theories, complex concepts and terms in your field and then simplify them. Make them something that is fun. So you can turn them into an acronym. Let's say, for example, you in a particular topic, 5 points were given to you. Let's say, for example, they asked you, what are the disadvantages of globalization? And they gave you 5 points, okay, on the disadvantages of globalization. So what do? You take each of those points, and take the letters of each of those points and coin a word, coin something that will help you. You can coin a cat, you can coin, a snake. You can coin just using, for instance, snake, snake, can mean something. You just use that, all the first letters in the of those points. Like snake is snake, 5 points. So if you have 5 points and you have those letters, beginning those points, you can use it and form the word snake. So if you are giving points, just arrange those points and then use them to create something that you can remember. All right. Or you can turn them into, a sentence that is funny that you can remember. Let me give you a very good example. In rhetorics, the canons, the pillars of rhetorics, okay, are invention, arrangement, style, memory, and delivery. All right, 5 of them: invention, arrangement, style, memory, and delivery. 5 canons of of rhetorics. So instead of trying to memorize everything, I can just use, because I want to remember them. I know that I is there, I know that A is there, I know that S is there, I know that M is there, I know that D is there. I can turn it into an acronym. All right, just picking all the first letters, and then I can have something like Samid. All right, and it will give me all the 5 letters. So now I know that S stands for style, A stands for arrangement, M stands for memory, and D stands for delivery, and I stands for invention, right? I know that. So, but if I don't want to turn them into an acronym, I can decide to turn it into a sentence. For example, I am still making deals. I am still making deals. IASMD. I am still making deals. Simple. Now, the more funny it is for you, the easier it is for your memory to remember them, for your brain to remember them, because brain likes fun. Is that okay? The second one is storytelling and visualization. In storytelling and visualization, okay, You need to understand this very important point. Our brain remembers stories better than plain text. Stories stick to the brain. People don't forget stories. That's why we all love stories. That's why children, you know, remember your kindergarten days, your primary school days. A lot of things we are taught you using stories, right? Our grandpas, our grandmas, they tell us things using stories. The story of tortoise, the story of this, and you never forget them because stories they stick. Okay? So turn theories into short stories. If you are studying, for example, diffusion of innovation theory, you can turn it into a story. Imagine a student who tries an app for the first time. Okay? He is the first person to test it, to try that app. Then he now goes and talks to his friends about it, those that are close to him. And all of them begin to use it. Before you know it, the entire class is using that same, is using the same app. What is the key? It is diffusion. It started with one person, it went to a group, and then everybody bought into it. That can help you to remember diffusion of innovation. And if you give that illustration in exam, there is no lecturer that is going to mark it down for you. So turn theories into stories. Visualization makes theories to stick. When you visualize them, when you turn them into stories, they stick to your mind. Whether it is agenda setting you are dealing with, framing you are dealing with, hypodermic needle theory, or any of those complex theories of communication, of sociology, of politics, whatever it is that you are talking about. So turn them into stories, visualize them, and tell stories about them. The next one quickly is, and this is interesting, mind mapping. All right. Mind mapping is simply, taking a particular topic, and this is very great for memory. Very great for memory. It's a strong tool for the memory. Okay. Now, if you take a topic that you learned in the class, usually the lecturer will tell you the topic for the day. You take that topic, you draw a circle in the center of your book. You drop the topic in that circle. Then all the points that were made during that lecture, you now draw circles around the first, circle you drew, and then drop all the points into those other circles according to how they relate to each other. So you will see the connections, physically. You will see the connections physically. Now, this technique works because the brain loves patterns. The brain loves patterns and visuals, more than it loves endless text. The brain loves visuals. The brain loves patterns. And when it sees patterns, it can easily recognize them. Is that okay? Now, the next one is linking method. The linking method is you know, connecting ideas, different ideas. You connect them according to how they relate with each other. For instance, if you want to remember agenda setting, framing, priming, gatekeeping, and all of that, then you can just link them, draw them in a certain line, and then link them, how they connect to each other. Gatekeeping will lead us to agenda setting. Agenda setting will lead us to framing. Framing is going to lead us to priming and all of that. You see the relationship and how they. Then if you can do it with drawing a mind map with it, or you can also turn it into a story. For instance, The media, sets the agenda like a chef, selecting ingredients. Then they frame it like a photographer, all right, looking for the right angle. A photographer will always try to frame, all right. Then they prime it like a teacher preparing the students for a class. So with links, your memory flows like a story. Your memory flows like a story. And usually what happens is that if you remember one, you very likely you will remember the rest. Is that okay? Very likely you will remember the rest. The last one is the Loci method. The Loci method. Now, this Loci method is also called the memory palace. The memory palace. So imagine a palace, and the memory is a palace. Okay, so you kind of visualize it that, okay, in that palace, you kept something in the queen's room, you kept another thing in the king's room, you kept another thing in the prince's room, and then you kept another thing in the princess room. So, for instance, you kept agenda setting in the queen's room, you kept framing in the king's room, you kept priming in the princess room, and you kept gatekeeping in the prince room. So each time you remember each of those rooms, you are going to remember what you kept in them. Now, you can actually practice this thing literally in your room. You can actually practice this literally in your room. You take papers, and then you write out all the things you want to remember. Then you keep one in the kitchen, you keep one in the parlor, you keep one in the dining, you keep one somewhere else. Those places that you usually go to. After some time, you will just discover, oh, I kept this one here, I kept that one there, I kept this one there, I kept this one there. Before you know it, it will stick. When you get into examination hall, once you remember where you kept those things, everything will come flooding back, into your mind. All right. So think about it like that. Think about it like that. Now, let me give you an illustration about, let's say, a student, okay, from sociology or economics or any other student. It can apply. But let me use a sociology student, for example. A sociology student who is struggling to remember the different stages of socialization. Okay? Now, instead of memorizing things blindly, what does he do? He builds a story about a child growing up, okay? And how that child, learns. So the child begins to learn from the family, from the home, and then goes to school and starts learning. And then with his friends, he starts learning, he learns from his friends, and then to the larger society, he learns from the larger society. So now all of these things, once you remember those stories, you will naturally remember the stages of socialization. So in examination hall, what does he do? All he does is to replay the story in his mind, and then he scores his A, and that's it. Okay? So now that works like magic. It works like magic, but it is not magic. It is real, it is practical, and anybody can practice them. All right? So here is a quick exercise for you. A quick exercise. Pause for just 30 minutes. Sorry, for 30 seconds. We don't have 30 minutes for this video even. Just pause for 30 seconds. Choose a difficult topic and apply a memory trick. Any of these memory tricks I've just given to you. Choose a difficult topic and apply any one of them. You can apply two if you want to, but just choose one and apply it. Turn it, for example, into a funny acronym, okay? Or draw a quick memory map or mind map for it. All right? Or imagine placing it in your memory palace. All right? You will be amazed at how much easier it is for you to recall these things. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. And these things, they work for anybody. They can work for anybody. You are not a dummy. It's just that you don't know the tools to use to recall things. So from now on, no more F's, no more E's, no more D's, no more C's. Okay, we can manage B, but our goal is for you to have an A. Is that okay? So as we close this video, remember, it is not about having a strong memory. It is about using smart memory tools. Yeah, that's what it is. Use mnemonics, stories, mind map, memory palaces. Use them. Turn study into a creative game. Okay? And your brain is going to reward you with recall power. It will just reward you. Success is just going to be the game. Now, I want you to say this to yourself. My memory is sharp. My recall is strong. And I am ready for success. One more time, say that. My memory is sharp. My recall is strong. And I am ready for success. In the next video, we are going to unlock exam hall secrets. Yeah, exam hall secrets. We are going to recall exam hall secrets. How to tackle any examination question like a pro. But before you go, I want you to subscribe. If this video has been a blessing to you, helped you in one way or the other, just show it by click subscribing. Just press that subscribe button, share it with your friends, like it, and then in the comments, I want you to say it in the comments. My memory is sharp. Just say it in the comments right now. Type it into the comments and say, my memory is sharp. I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice